Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Or good day. My name is Dennis Stanbury, and we are part of the Mucko Village organization. But I can't help but to get into this whole debate about the child that was beaten in St. Thomas. And it is very sad. Jamaica have a long history of using severe punishment against their kids. But the problem in St. Thomas, I think it's deeper than what a lot of people, because when I saw that video Sunday, it is a horrible video, no mistaking about that. But I think that the problem runs deeper than just the video. You could see that this lady she's taking out her frustration. She's frustrated and mad and probably hopeless, as I wrote on Facebook. There's a hopelessness of these kids. But finding out that this lady is from St. Thomas kind of drive home the hopelessness point that I'm making out. Because now that the mother is in jail, and probably the authorities knew about her behavior before and others around her and did nothing about it, and the family member who live in that big yard, they must know things were going on at the yard, but they did nothing about it. But realizing that this lady is from St. Thomas, and the whole stage and the beating and everything is from St. Thomas, bring back a really strong point. We've been doing some work up in St. Thomas. First time I was going there, another member of Mucko Village, we help our members. We go back to their communities and try to build their little communities, and if they have a genuine passion. And I've been working with Ms. Vivian Christie from Mount Vernon in St. Thomas since 2014, and I was privy now to get into the inner routine, inner life of St. Thomas, and realize that the people of St. Thomas, they're boiling. They're at a boiling point. They've been neglected for years. I mean, Paul Bogle hanging, and the whole beating of the people of St. Thomas, and the whole Morant Bay Rebellion from 1865. It's like St. Thomas hasn't been forgiven for creating the revolution that so many of us in Jamaica enjoy today. I'm talking about us. Even though I'm here in the United States, children don't have these kind of problems, but my home and my mind and everything is back home, and so many of us want to come back and help our little community, but the system is set up not for these rural area communities. Because St. Thomas, 1865, Morant Bay Rebellion, people were beaten into compliance who didn't even know nothing about the Morant Bay Rebellion. St. Thomas has been punished ever since. St. Thomas is the last place to get a high school. Up to now, there's no decent colleges in St. Thomas. I think there's a community college that do very minimal stuff there. So the people are hopeless. It's a parish that's forgotten, and the frustration has to be taken out somehow. I'm not condoning this mother's beating, but it speaks to a broader and a more deeper problem affecting the people in Jamaica in general, young people and people not having a job. But the people of St. Thomas, they are suffering. We had an incident where we had to report to the CDA, similar abuse with machete beating and all of those stuff. And the problem started when we report the problem. The real problem with the child started when we report the problem to the CDA. And this is very sad that up to today I'm sitting here talking, there is not a boys' home or a girls' home or a place of safety. There's no CDA home anywhere in St. Thomas, and there are a lot of problems with kids over there. So you now put the mother in jail, send back the kid home in the same yard, right? Where's the intervention? She's around the same people them who witness her getting abused and grow up around seeing how the system is structured right in the same yard. Because St. Thomas, they are suffering, and people are just crying out. I've been to bath fountains several times, and You know, you go up on the dreadlocks area and you get your massage and the people running you down so desperate. Speak to a white that each year Jamaicans and how they're so desperate. So them will crab fight over anybody for a little money. And when I stayed at the bath fountain, and it's like they have the imaginary line. You have a group of people just line up talking to you while you're inside the place. The people are suffering in St. Thomas. Back in the 60s, when, you know, Siaga wanted to run into politics, he used St. Thomas as the backdrop. I'm gonna let the fire burn like how Paul Bogle burned, like how St. Thomas and Paul Bogle had fire burning in St. Thomas. I see the last general election, Portia Simpson, she dressed up a coaster bus, and she said she's gonna train the people in St. Thomas through heart trust and all of those stuff. Political gimmick. The current Prime Minister, Holness, he was touring St. Thomas. So they keep the people of St. Thomas in poverty and then use them when they're ready. Them use them for the pity thing. So like now the whole Goodyear tire factory that they said they're gonna use and make it into a big upgrade it and turn it into all kind of thing. The other administration was saying that they're gonna turn it into a movie park or something like that. You know, they always use these poor. They keep them poor and they use them as the platform for their propaganda. The CDA in Jamaica is a joke. You know, people dressed up and they have a job, but it's like they have basket to carry water, because they go and investigate and they go and put back the kids in the same situation or even worse off situation. Our case is before the court now, and we get a lawyer and spending our money to rectify all of these injustices. But you know, it's a bad situation. I think Jamaica is sliding into the have and the have not at a very fast pace. So the people who have it is like the economies in Haiti and all of these poor countries, where Jamaica is like next in line. It's a shame, and it's caused from politics, government, churches and civil leaders and people, you know, just not caring about the overall well-being of people. It's very sad. So when we talk about the CDA and what they're gonna do and all of those things, there's no system in place for St. Thomas residents. There is not a home for safety for kids in St. Thomas. So the CDA is a mockery. It's a big joke, because they are just using basket like jackass basket to carry water. So the system is bad, man. The system is bad, and the government and everybody need to stop the labeling of St. Thomas. I'm not from St. Thomas, but judging my area and the Mucko Mountains and looking at the development and things in St. Thomas is very bad. Very bad. Extremely bad. You know, the rest of the country, they might label them like how they used to label the Rasta, then label them, say, dopey worshipper and Poco and whatever. Total garbage. You know, so, you know, my thing is, this is a very sad case, and it speaks to the wider neglect of a whole set of people from Eastern Jamaica, St. Thomas. Thanks.